Okay, so this is my piece for the biomorphic abstraction assignment. And the first thing that I see is the crack that is running kind of down on the main trunk of the piece. And I think that's because it's so dark in comparison with the rest of the piece, which is mainly all white. How are the elements organized? Think about the principles of design. So this is obviously like a tall, skinny piece, and to me it feels pretty balanced, even though that right trunk or that right branch is kind of going in a diagonal. I think the left branch balances it out well. How has the overall mood been achieved? My goal was for it to look like it was melting, kind of. It's inspired by a tree in our front yard that has those big bumps on the trunk, and I just look at it and it kind of looks like it's melting to me. So that was the mood that I was going for, and I carved that, and then I used fabric with the paper mache over top, and that added like a whole nother textural element that I really couldn't control, but it ended up being interesting, and I think that it did achieve the mood of looking bumpy, melty, messy, and yeah, all of that. Okay, why was this piece made? I mostly made this piece to test out like a concept that I had in my mind, something that I wanted to try, and also I wasn't really familiar with these materials, so it's kind of also just a test to get comfortable with these materials. So that's really why I made it. It wasn't so much about like a polished, finished piece that I keep type of thing. How accessible is the work? I'd say it's very accessible, and that anybody could view it. It's small. Okay, let's see. Do you think the work has intrinsic value or worth? I think that it does, in that it was a good test piece for me, that it took me like a good chunk of time to work this type of shape out in the styrofoam, and therefore I got pretty familiar with carving it and sanding it, and so that was good for me, and also it was another test of like getting used to paper mache. So for that, I would say it has value, but like I said earlier, not really so much as a finished product. Do you feel that this work communicates an idea, feeling, or principle that would have value to others? I think that it could be interesting to others. It could make people think a little bit about why I did things the way I did. Not make them think too deep, but yeah, slightly.